While wrapping up our presentation yesterday in Chicago, Sam and I had a conversation with a lawyer who was incredibly honest. And he said, I've been doing it wrong for a long time. And he told us that when his clients would go to prison, he would send letters to the warden requesting an earlier release, especially during COVID, articulating health issues as expressed in the probation report, hoping the warden would immediately release the prisoner. And he said, I had really good intentions. I thought as the lawyer, forgive me, I'm at the airport getting ready to go home. He said, I had really good intentions, but I never heard back from a warden. And he understands why, as we spoke about advocacy in this post-sentencing presentation, and how the prisoner has to take the lead while they're in prison. Because in the administrative process, lawyers are not involved. And he said, I feel terrible that for so long I've been both billing clients to do this work under the idea that it would help them, but I've never been successful. I don't ever want to do that again. So we really applauded this lawyer for addressing this, for him recognizing the value of advocacy, of understanding how the mitigation, as we talk a lot about in our mitigation arc, the mitigation doesn't end. I'm not even looking into the camera, forgive me. The mitigation doesn't simply end at sentencing. I know you all want the shortest sentence, but I also know you want to get out early and influence a case manager to approve your job in the halfway house and allow a probation officer will grant you higher levels of liberty as I slur here an early Saturday morning. You want more levels of liberty on probation. And I think these lawyers understood that's going to be initiated by you while you're in prison. So I'm going to say it again, as long as I film YouTube videos, you've got to learn how to advocate, and you need to rely on the subject matter experts that our team continues to hire to provide you with content. For example, a reentry plan. What does that even mean? Well, if you really want to learn what a best-in-class reentry plan looks like, you will click the YouTube link in this description. You will go through Michael Santos's extraordinary release plan, and you'll begin to create yours. Now, a number of people have said to us, dude, my release plan can't be that long. This is like the gold standard. Yes, he served 26 years in prison. He accomplished a lot. Yours doesn't have to be 26 years long. Maybe it's a year and a day long or 2 years long. But you're going to look foolish if you're like every other prisoner who goes to their case manager and says, hi, I have children, I have a job waiting for me, I'd like to go home. You know what they're going to say? Thank you, leave. You should have thought about that before you broke the law. To advocate for yourself, you've got to be different. We think. No guarantee you'll be successful. We can't change the past. Can't guarantee what a bureaucrat that you may meet or will never meet may do. But once you feel better knowing you've done everything to try to advance your agenda, done everything to try to get out of there more quickly, and if you're successful, great. And if not, at least you're having an incredibly productive prison experience. So I really encourage you to recognize advocacy on the inside is going to come from you, unless of course you hire a lawyer to go back to the judge to try to file for a compassionate release and all that, which you can do under the First Step Act. But I'm talking inside of the prison, a lawyer is not involved. You have got to advocate. So click the link, go through the release plan, create your own, so then when you go meet with a case manager in a team meeting, rather than telling them you want to get home, you can say, this is programming that I'm participating in. This is what I'm learning from programming. This is how it's helping me in prison. This is how it's going to help me when I'm released from prison. And then it's growing, much like your sentencing narrative is a dynamic document. It should grow over time. That release plan could include your narrative, augment it with what you've done in prison. Then when you have another team meeting, can be 6 months or 3 months later, say, this is what I've done since we last met. I'm continuing to improve. I'm building relationships. So Michael Santos's reentry plan is a great guide for all of you. I love how I'm filming a video. I don't even think I'm looking in the right spot. I'm sorry. I encourage you to go through Michael's plan and then think, okay, I'm going to be in prison. I want to learn to advocate for myself. This is a gold standard, we think, for you to follow. But it does require you to do the work, because I remember one time when I was in prison, there were some prisoners who weren't doing their job and like orderly. They didn't want to clean the toilets and showers or whatever it was. And a guard was like, I don't care, I don't live here. You can clean it or you don't clean it. And it was surprising to hear that, because the guard had sat in the same spot for like 6 months and he had never made a comment until then. The point is, they may not say anything for a while, they may never say anything, but they're watching. So a case manager may never tell you, who are you spending time with? How are you adjusting? How productive are you? How do you spend your days? Why are you watching the Kardashians and Sons of Anarchy instead of working in the library? They may never say that to you, but that doesn't mean they don't know. I mean, they're not dumb. They're there all day in a place where you are living. So they're watching, whether they tell you or not. They're going to know if you're giving them happy talk or if you're lying to them when you go in. Just like your family will know if you're lying to them when you call home and talk about how productive you are, but you're watching TV all day. They're going to see it in a visit. Family knows. So I'll close this way. You've got to do the work. You've got to learn how to advocate. It's not going to happen by accident. So go through this reentry plan and think, okay, I have a year, I have 2 years. I want to reverse engineer my way back. In other words, where do I need to be in a year, 6 months, 3 months? Where do you need to be tomorrow? And if you create that, we think without a guarantee that you'll be successful, that it advances your prospects for success. Really appreciated this lawyer telling us the truth. I think he better understands the importance of post-sentencing and advocacy. And for you to learn more, I also encourage you to attend our free webinars on Friday and Saturday. I've said it before, and I'll say again, we ain't got nothing to sell you. We just want to teach you, but it's going to require you to do the work. I'm going to board this flight, get home with my family. It's been a super productive trip with my partner, Sam Bagel, speaking to these lawyers in Chicago. Do you like this Brooks Brothers suit? Am I a Brooks Brothers guy? I don't know. I don't really feel like a Brooks Brothers guy. Could I have got here early enough? I got like 2.5 hours to my flight. Okay, I'm going to go waste time.